Let's bring it back to County 9 by 11, and where the county government, like many others, are still grappling with how to go about the whole education situation in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, and a number of residents have reverted to pastoralism, as has been the case now that schools are closed. Now, Seth Olale joins us live from a different location in Isiolo, where he'll tell us exactly where he is, and just to let us know what is the situation like when it comes to education. Seth, over to you. Maybe you could just paint a picture of what the no class situation is in the county of Isiolo.
Well done, Mwangi, thank you so much. I didn't hear you quite well, but what we know is that as far as education is concerned in Isiolo County, they are dealing with the imminent closure of schools and a suspension of an academic calendar year, just as the rest of the country is dealing with this particular issue. But yes, as I mentioned, or rather as you mentioned, Dan, in that particular introduction, is that, learning is suspended in Isiolo County. But the other challenge is there is no provision for online learning. And that is a quite interesting feature, because we're going to highlight this in our subsequent bulletin, how pastoralists are handling the suspension of learning in the calendar year. And there's no online learning going on here. But I'm going to talk to the CEC Education Isiolo County. Actually, we're just outside Isiolo Boys High School. Let me now introduce the CEC Education. Just move closer to me. Just tell us about the status of education in Isiolo County. We know there are challenges, and those challenges have now been summed up with a suspension of an academic year to January 2021. But still, there are issues surrounding the education sector in Isiolo County. As a CEC, what are some of the highlights you want to tell Kenyans all over the world watching us right now live from Isiolo County?
Thank you very much. My name is Abdi Haji Daud. I am the CEC Education in Isiolo County. What normally happened is that this coronavirus, COVID-19, has paralyzed a lot of activities in the whole world, including economical, social, and all other aspects. But if we narrow down to education, education has been paralyzed. We know our education circle has got, our education programs in Kenya start in January and end in December towards the end of the year. But now, because of this pandemic has brought standstill to all education matters.
And also, you are relying on the online learning, but it's quite a challenge because Isiolo County, the larger part of it does not have internet access. Is this a challenge to you?
Yeah, in fact, it's a matter which I wanted to talk about. All the students are at home, and in fact, the advantages have been felt all across the country, yes, whereby we have everywhere early pregnancies. Yes. This one has been caused by students being idle, being not in school, and the education circle has been lost. Now students are at home. In fact, the worries which parents have is that these children, especially those who are in the baby class 1, class 2, class 3, now from March up to December, those are almost 8 months. By the time they go back to school, I don't know whether they can concentrate anything or they have forgotten anything. They can remember anything.
What's the solution? What's the solution?
So the solution is that as the county government, we have partnered with local radios which are available, so that we have started teaching our learners. Though it's a challenge, most of the areas don't have that coverage of the radio.
And even electricity to homes we've been, Manatas we've been earlier on, there are no electricity.
Yeah, so already the radio frequencies is not there, the network is not there, that is the network coverage. The electricity is also a challenge. There are some places far in the rurals where people have never seen electricity. And the only source of education was when the learners were going to class. Now the learning has been paralyzed. All the students now are at home. That is the major challenge that is there. And the also network. For example, there are some also online which we have tried to partner with some NGOs. But most of the areas don't have network coverages. That's again the major challenge which is happening. Yes. And also now the other challenge is that most of the people, 80% or people of Isiolo, are nomads and pastoralists. Yes. And now when the schools are closed like this now, yeah, the students are not at home. Yes. They go after the animals. Yes. So even if the networks could be there, it could not even be possible to be assisted. So now the learners are out They have gone looking after the animals. That is a big challenge, and it's a big consequence to especially people from north. I mean from these areas where there are no networks.
It is a challenge in Isiolo County. It is a challenge in most parts of the country. The issue we were addressing in our team coverage, the issue surrounding inequality being felt here in Isiolo County. A majority of ordinary students are unable to continue with learning, issues to do with lack of electricity, lack of internet, lack of network, and the challenges go on and on. But you don't want to miss my report later tonight at NTV Journey and NTV Tonight, because we're going to highlight the challenges a normal kid from Isiolo County is going through in terms of the closure of schools and how it has affected them right now. Back to you, Don Mwangi, my colleague, who is at the El Moron, is it El Moron? El Moran Hotel right here.